On a warm Friday afternoon, I made a decision I thought would bring joy to my wife and perhaps help us feel closer again. Lately, life had been wearing us thin, pulling us in different directions, and the distance between us was starting to feel heavier than I wanted to admit. Wanted to surprise her, I stopped at her favorite eatery and picked up lunch, imagining the way her face would light up when she saw me show up unexpectedly at her office. The thought of her smile gave me hope, like maybe this small gesture could remind us both of what we had been missing. When I arrived at her workplace, the receptionist recognized me immediately and offered a warm greeting, even waving me through as though I belonged there. With the food bag in hand, I walked through the halls quietly, careful not to announce my presence too soon. I wanted to surprise her, to see her expression shift from ordinary routine to genuine happiness the moment she spotted me. As I approached her department, I began to hear laughter floating down the corridor. The sound was hers, light, carefree, a tone I hadn't heard directed toward me in months. For a moment, it brought a smile to my lips, but then I realized she wasn't alone. Her laughter wasn't meant for me. I turned the corner and saw her near the water cooler, her posture relaxed and her voice playful. Standing close to her was a man I didn't know, tall, confident, the kind of person who naturally seemed at ease in any situation. My wife's eyes sparkled as she teased him. "Oh, Kevin, you're incorrigible," she laughed, playfully tapping his arm. "If I'm not careful, I might start thinking you're trying to sweep me off my feet." The words landed on me like a crushing weight. My heart seemed to stop, my chest tightening as though the air itself had been stolen. My hand clenched the takeout bag, so tightly that my knuckles turned pale. Kevin leaned closer to her, his tone smooth, his smile deliberate. "Maybe I am," he said. "You haven't exactly said you're taken." My wife looked down, a coy smile playing her lips, and then she murmured, "Let's just say it's not so straightforward." It was in that moment her eyes lifted, finally noticing me standing only a few steps away. Her face drained of color, her laughter vanishing instantly. The atmosphere shifted to something heavy and suffocating. Kevin looked at me, confusion flashing across his features before discomfort set in. She stepped away from him quickly, her voice trembling. "John, this is what it looks like." But it was. The way she leaned toward him, the playful shine in her eyes, the warm, easy smile she hadn't given me in so long. It all told a story more honest than her words ever could. I simply held out the bag of food. My voice calmed though my insides were unraveling. "I thought we could have lunch together," I said, but it seems I was wrong. Without waiting for a response, I turned and walked away, my steps heavy, each one threatening to pull me down like I was sinking into the floor. She didn't follow me immediately. By the time I reached the parking lot, I collapsed into the driver's seat, staring blankly at the dashboard, unsure what to feel beyond the gnawing emptiness inside me. Moments later, she rushed out, breathless and frantic. She hurried to my car, tears brimming in her eyes, her voice quaking. "John, please don't go," she begged. I lowered the window just enough to hear her, my heart torn but guarded. "It meant nothing," she insisted, reaching toward me. "Kevin's just a coworker." I was being silly. I studied her face, the woman I had loved deeply for nearly 8 years, and all I could think about were her words from inside. Not so straightforward. My reply came cold, though steady. "You said it was complicated. Is it?" She faltered, tripping over her words, her voice cracking. "No. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Things haven't been right. You felt so far away. I've been so lonely." Her confession stung worse than her laughter with him. I had felt the distance too, but not because I hadn't tried. I had reached out to her, begged for openness, longed for real conversations, but she had brushed me off, shutting me out, pretending everything was fine. Now she would justify her actions as loneliness. "Loneliness doesn't give you the right to break our promises," I said, my voice sharper now. "If something's wrong, we face it together. You don't go looking for someone else to fill the space." Her tears flowed freely then, her apology spilling out, her body trembling as she insisted it was only harmless flirting, nothing serious. But in my heart, I knew there was no such thing as harmless when it came to vows spoken before family, friends, and God. The kind of laughter she had shared with him, the kind she had once shared with me, wasn't innocent. It was a boundary crossed. "I never meant to hurt you," she sobbed. "Please don't walk away from me." But the truth was, something inside me had already begun to break the moment I saw her bathed in another man's attention, her joy ignited by someone who wasn't me. In that instant, I no longer felt like her husband. I felt like an outsider watching a part of her slip away. "I need space," I finally said. "I need time to think, to decide what I can and can't forgive." She pleaded with me to come home, to sit down and talk, to let her explain more. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't sure I could even trust my own heart anymore, let alone her words. As I drove away, my mind replayed the scene like a cruel film stuck on repeat. Her carefree laughter, Kevin's easy smile, her coy response of not so straightforward. That single moment had shattered something deep within me, a fracture I wasn't sure could ever heal. Trust, once broken, doesn't return easily, if it ever returns at all. Maybe we could rebuild what we had. Maybe not. But one truth was inescapable. From that moment on, nothing between us would ever feel the same.